So hello and welcome one and all from what I can only describe as footballing utopia. The weather is perfect, the fans are in great voice, and the players are all set to get started. I'm Peter Drury, and providing analysis and expert opinion alongside me will be Jim Beglin.
Hello Peter, and hello to everyone watching. For me, it's a real thrill to be here.
There's the shot! Well, now it's a race for the ball. And that was very necessary. And we have our very first corner. Oh, good spread. Played in by Roberto Carlos. And that has been cleared. Newcastle given another corner. Corner number 2 then. Mavropanos attempts a clearance. Nedved. It's Nedved! There it is!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
That's expertly finished, and he's done that so often.
Number 22,
So, a breakthrough already. Front-footed pressing going on here. Now it's Castellanos. Ferdinand. Now Van Dijk. Nedved. Newcastle leading here thanks to that early goal. 1-0 the score. Chance to deliver. Easy enough for the goalkeeper. Drogba finds himself offside. Souček. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. Out towards the flank. Nice control. And it's played in. Defending of the desperate variety. He'll try from distance. Oh, cracking effort.
Oh, the technical control was exquisite. The pummeled attempt was exasperating.
Lahm has quite the footballing brain. He's almost never outsmarted. Newcastle very much in the ascendancy and with a goal to their name. Rivaldo. Very nicely done. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And it's Nedved. This might spell danger. Tries to get it clear.
A lot of space here, a real opportunity.
Wan-Bissaka. And here's Drogba. Now it's Castellanos. He's looking wide. Short changes him with that pass. And here's Drogba. Souček. And he's intervened well there. Rivaldo. And here's Vieri. Oh, that's nice. Potts did just about enough to come out on top there. Neither party overly willing to compromise. He's in plenty of space here. Now it's Castellanos. Rivaldo.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
And here's Drogba. Oh, and they're quick to press here, right on top of them. Mavropanos.
Newcastle can certainly afford to see this half out now and reset during the break.
Mateus. Lahm. Decent chance! He's got away with one there.
Well, let that be a lesson to them. If they don't stay focused all the time, they're going to be made to pay.
So, third corner of the game. Impressive jump! Bowen. And now they can spring out of defence. And he's forced to go back. Jude.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Bowen. And the pass is intercepted. Quick look at his watch, and the referee whistles for half-time. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here. Newcastle leading by 1 at the break.
I thought that was a decent 45 minutes of football. Plenty of signs that both managers can take a lot of encouragement from. I would say the mood is neither overly negative nor positive. You still have to approach this like it's 0-0.
Newcastle are in a pretty decent position after 45 minutes. 1-0 to the good. The second half is up and running.
Newcastle can do themselves a massive favour by grabbing another one here.
Well, that is one way to stop him. That's going across. Getting up there! Harmlessly behind.
I thought it was a really good break. No shortage of pace nor intensity. Exactly what's required when on the counter-attack.
Van Dijk wins the duel this time. Wan-Bissaka with the clearance. Jude. And Dizazi. West Ham are looking to break at pace. Now it's Castellanos. And claimed it back swiftly. Juve. Oh, this is a terrific run. It's a promising position, and he decides to cross it. That's going to go a long way. It's run loose here. Drogba was only too happy to help out in defence.
Well, it's not a surprise to see that these days, all part of a forward's duties.
Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store. That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away, and eventually you might just get that little break.
They're coming again and again.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Bowen. Now it's Castellanos. That has been slung wide. And he's managed to get free. Lahm did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. That's a sharp pass. Oh, facing up to his adversary. This is a formidable matchup. And this is Drogba. Mavropanos defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Pass somewhat off target. Time then for the first substitution of the game. So Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, it's a natural instinct to defend when ahead, but it's too early for them to settle into that practice just now.
Rummenigge has an approach to the game which is pretty much shoot on sight. Mateus. Potts. Orford. Now it's Castellanos. Nicely weighted ball. And the shot! And the keeper has reacted superbly there.
Well, someone's doing his job properly, Peter, that's for sure.
And a header! He will be livid with himself. Vieri. Rivaldo, renowned for his long-range shooting. And it's Nedved. Rummenigge. Works it forward. No, again there's no way through. Now it's Vieri.
Newcastle clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Castellanos.
How many interceptions have we seen now? Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
And that is out of play. So a bit of a revolving door here.
Substitution in
Lots
progress.
and lots of changes. So time for a potential game changer.
Well, this could lead to the injection of energy that might disrupt the rhythm of their opponents.
Played out wide.
Look, they're prepared to be quite physical to contain any danger that might come their way. I'll tell you, Peter, the keeper owes him big time there. He's lucky his mate was wide awake to that.
And he's picked out the run. And he's picked it up out wide. That is lovely. Now the delivery. Oh, good effort. Oh, fine stop from the keeper.
Orford really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Roberto Carlos is one whose deliveries we all know about. And it's Drogba. Very much into the last knockings. Threads one in. Rivaldo.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Potts. 1 minute to add, according to the board. Oh, he's found support out wide. And he was alert to it. And that is as far as it goes. Newcastle have done it. They've achieved what they came for. Maximum points. Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. I'm your commentator, Peter Drury, and providing his unique brand of expert analysis, here's Jim Beglin.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drury, and hello to everyone.
And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect and a chance! It's there!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
The goal scorer!
The movement so precise, the finish sumptuous.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch, and they're dazed.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. João Pedro, nicely spread. Rummenigge, absolutely focused then on the defensive side of his game.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but that was squeaky clean.
Hato. And it's Lavia. And Fofana. Palmer. Looking for options for movement. Engages and forces him off the ball. Ferdinand.
They need to play this quicker in transitions like this.
Good pressure, determined, intense. Now it's Vieri. Rivaldo. Caicedo. Newcastle leading here thanks to that early goal. 1-0 the score. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. That's a risky ball, you've got to say. Van Dijk. And it's Nedved. Rummenigge. Fofana. Fernandes. And it's Hato. Gusto. Fernandes. And Gusto. He's got away. Gusto. Hangs one in. Lahm can get it clear. They're back in possession and ready to go again. Caicedo. And it's Lavia. Cucurella is in a really good position out wide. Roberto Carlos tries to clear.
Yeah, that works for me. The denial of movement, blunt and brusque.
Rummenigge attempts a clearance. Palmer, and he shoots! And he was there to get a vital touch.
Palmer really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Punched away. Fofana tries to pass it through. Cucurella in acres of space out wide. He won't be happy with that one. Almost half an hour in now. Lavia. Distributed tidily. Threads one in, and he's definitely onside. A lot of space ahead of him. Cleared without hesitation. Well, they've got it back in a hurry. Good ball, good take. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be. It's a promising position. Lavia. For Palmer. Nedved simply refused to be outdone there. Now it's Vieri. Lahm crosses it in here. And he's taking no chances there. Mateus plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone.
It looks very much like they'd be happy to settle for this narrow lead at the break.
Aims beyond the defence. Shoots! And that's a good finish. A two-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. There was no getting to that. No getting to it at all. Expertly done.
Just way too good, Peter. The keeper was never going to stop it.
Newcastle are now luxuriating in a two-goal lead.
You can really sense how important this goal was for them. They needed it, now they have it.
Nice interception, well timed. Lavia. Pedro Neto.
Has been indicated.
Nicely weighted ball. Oh, shooting chance! Now that is commitment to the cause. Fernandez with the short one. No way through, so back it comes. Shot a goal! And no mistake! And deep into first half stoppage time. A timely strike. That's it, 45 minutes up. So we have here a genuinely competitive game with neither team truly in control. A single goal the difference at half-time. No, well, the pickings certainly have been rich in this first half.
Yeah, they're ahead, Peter, but they can't afford to get too complacent. They need to go with the same intensity and tempo they showed in getting both the goals. Try to get another now and establish that two-goal cushion early in the second half.
Newcastle are leading, but it is still delicately poised. It's 2-1. So straight into the second half. Oh, he's been caught napping. He's picked his way through. Mateus, the man that is tenacity personified. Roberto Carlos. And it's Roberto Carlos. And Mateus. And it's Rivaldo. Lahm. Now it's Vieri. Fernandez. And it's Hato. And Cucurella. Fofana. And it's Gusto. Lavia looking to add to his goal. Fernandez over to the right flank. Mateus. Rivaldo, who does have an assist to his name. Now it's Vieri. And it's Rivaldo. And he plays one through. It's Drogba! Well, now it's a race for the ball. Oh, he's managed to get it all wrong.
Drogba has every reason to be disappointed after being played in so well. The gaffer won't let him forget that.
Cucurella. Now it's Pedro Neto. He's going to be disappointed with that. Now it's Pedro. Nedved goes looking wide. Rummenigge. He's shifting through the gears here. Gusto can get it clear. Roberto Carlos. Pedro is amongst the league's top 5 scorers. Lavia turns back here, probably the best option. And that's been intercepted.
That was well played, well stopped.
It's a lovely, neat pass. Rummenigge is wide and looking to get onto this. Gusto. And that's a throw-in. Gusto. And it's Fernandez. And Lavia. Played out to the left flank. Now it's Pedro Neto. Caicedo. He shifted it to the flank. He is through here. That's tidy.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
They're coming again and again.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
Now it's Pedro. Palmer. Lovely pass, but can he get there?
Chelsea really might just end up kicking themselves after that. That could well have been it.
Fofana. And it's Lavia. And that interception was most necessary. Hato. And Fofana. Gusto. Palmer. It's a really well-measured ball, and he's certainly onside here. Newcastle clearly looking to hold on here right to the end. Rivaldo, renowned for his long-range shooting. He's in a great position here. Played out wide, and it's Palmer. Another pass just keeps it ticking over. And the ball's gone astray.
Chelsea really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
I think we're just about done here. Now it's Vieri. Now it's Drogba. Rivaldo. And here's Drogba. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
That's good running with the ball. Pedro, well seen, saw that coming. And that is as far as it goes. Newcastle have done their thing. They were driven by a desire to maximise every game, and they have won this one. Drogba picking up the man of... So hello and welcome one and all from what I can only describe as footballing utopia. The weather is perfect, the fans are in great voice, and the players are all set to get started. I'm Peter Drury, and it's my chance to say that it is an absolute delight to have Jim Beglin beside me.
Hi everyone, and thanks Peter, it's great to be on board.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here, This crowd doesn't do... And he shoots! And he should have made them pay.
That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender, stay onside.
Hudson-Odoi. Now this could be a chance. Nottingham have a free kick. The referee has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture.
Well, talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't think he had much choice there, although he's paid for it.
Anderson! It's anyone's ball now. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
This guy, Hudson-Odoi, is a fine winger in an old-fashioned sense. He tends to stick to his wide positions, but he's shown himself to be a creative outlet, and he doesn't actually shirk from his defensive duties either. You can usually expect a mature, all-round game from him.
Yeah, I'd have picked him too. No doubt the fans feel much the same way. Rivaldo will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Gibbs-White. Very early stages, Jim, but anything up to now that's of note?
Well, I think both teams probably feel it's too early for either to start taking real risks. So they're still very much in a phase of testing the waters and sizing each other up.
Rivaldo, never out of the action for very long. Newcastle still without a single shot on target. And the return pass. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Can he get onto this? Now it's Hudson-Odoi. Tries to pass it through. It's a promising position. Now the cross. Ferdinand. Mateus. Rummenigge. Here's Rivaldo. Pass somewhat off target. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
Mateus. And it's Nedved. And it's Rivaldo. Back where it came from. Passing is crisp and sharp. A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
It's really well read here, but having done the hard part, he'll be slightly disappointed not to make more of it.
Vieri! Tries to get it clear. Great vision. Shoots! They've got to be quick to recover this. Caught offside that time. Lahm. Mateus can so cleverly bypass the press. Mateus really struggling to influence the game.
Look, he could do with someone else taking responsibility to shift the target. He badly needs some help here.
Now it's Vieri. Now, can they get him away? And the shot! Goal! Wonderfully smooth, smart and slick.
Well, it always comes down to the telling final pass, and that was a beauty.
Newcastle have taken the lead.
Well, this will present the manager with a few interesting options, Peter. Try sitting on this or push on with the opposition, now forced to come out. That's just playing it safe and simple.
Now it's Drogba. Drogba! Wow, that is Didier Drogba! That is a gem! An absolute gem! A quite incredible spell. They are flying.
After 37 minutes is
It's 2 now without reply.
And things are much healthier in their favour. Mind you, you would have thought that when the last one went in.
And he has been fouled there. Well seen, saw that coming.
That was well played, well stopped.
Nedved. Newcastle heading towards the half-time break. The wind very much in their sails. Plays the return pass. Anderson. Newcastle have scored 2 quick goals here and are firmly in the driving seat. 2-0 the score. Mateus. And that is a little undercooked. And now the breakaway. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Lahm has quite the footballing brain. He's almost never outsmarted. And here's Vieri. Good read, needed to be. Sangare. Aina. And for the first half, that is that. What do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
Well, Peter, at 2-0, you're faced with the choice of just trying to see the match out or forcing the issue even further. I'd always be inclined to go for the latter, go for a third, especially with a full half of football still to play.
Newcastle firmly in control at the break, 2-0 the scoreline. And so the action is resumed. Hutchinson. Rummenigge is always playing with one eye on the spectacular. Now it's Vieri.
Well, it's not the best when it comes to decision-making. Okay, initially he probably was afforded the space to hold on to it, but the longer he did that, the more he was going to be swamped.
I think that's offside. Yes, it is. Drogba is sporting a guilty look after that.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Roberto Carlos. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Turns back here, probably the best option. Newcastle with this 2-goal lead. They're certainly looking much the more assured side. Not the most accurate pass. Rivaldo looking to shake off some unwanted attention.
Well, he's the quarterback equivalent, so I'm not surprised that he's being closed down first.
And he's picked it up out wide. Oh, good read.
That's great positioning, so good from him.
Cleared without hesitation. Newcastle are looking to go forward now. And he's picked out the run. Lahm finding himself in space. Rivaldo looking to be a menace in the final third. And it's Nedved. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped.
Aina. Hutchinson. Anderson. Plenty to aim at here. It's a really well-measured ball. So time for change, and this one has been on the cards for a little while.
Yeah, there's going to be a significant change of approach, I think. They really are shaking up their attack now.
Ferdinand. Lahm is one of the key ingredients in the team's attack. While facing up to his adversary, this is a formidable matchup.
This is the time you need that pace.
Now it's Hudson-Odoi. Can he get on the end of this? Roberto Carlos. Here's Nedved. And it's Roberto Carlos. Mateus at his creative best. He's set up 2 goals. And it's Lam. Good running, strong and purposeful. Chance! It's loose now and they want to get it back. Forced to go back. And Mateus. And that's been intercepted.
He read that really well and stopped it.
And he gets rid in a hurry. Rivaldo. And the shot! Well, that looked awkward, but he had a good crack at it.
Yeah, it didn't come off, but still very good quick thinking on his part.
It's their second corner of the game. Dealt with nicely by the defence. Nottingham have the chance to go the other way. Anderson. Time and again they are repelled. Gibbs-White shifted it to the flank. Now it's Awoniyi. Hudson-Odoi. Newcastle have time on their side now, as well as a 2-goal lead. It is just about done. Nedved. Now it's Drogba. Now it's Vieri. Lam looking to hit the byline here. And this is Vieri. Chance, surely! Relentless! Just relentless! And they are disappearing out of sight. That was fabulous. The most adept of touches, the smoothest of finishes.
Speed of thought, speed of action. That's another really clever finish.
3-0 and things are starting to look awfully cosy. Anderson. Hudson-Odoi. In with the challenge. Rivaldo did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. The pressing's intense and it's paid off. Nedved. Newcastle do have a chance to counter here. Sangare. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. Fourth official showing that there will be 3 minutes of added time. And here's Nedved. That's a decent clearance. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. Newcastle have done their thing. They were driven by a desire to maximise. Welcome one and all. We have perfect blue skies and quite a contest ahead of us. This really is a feel-good football match. This is Peter Drury, and next to me providing insights will be Jim Beglin.
Well, thanks, Peter. There's a great sense of anticipation in this stadium, and I've been hit by it too.
Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. So straight into the action. And he shoots! He's delivered all right!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
One sweeping move, executed with deadly efficiency.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
So, a breakthrough already. Ferdinand. And it's Van Dijk. Roberto Carlos. Mateus. Newcastle leading here thanks to that early goal. And the score is 1-0.
They've got to be quick moving this forward.
And it's Rivaldo. Closing in on... It's Rivaldo! And there's a goal! And they're threatening to fly away here. Well, how's that for a class finish?
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
After 13 minutes is number 8.
Newcastle are doing very nicely, thank you.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
It's a pretty loose pass. Mateus. Rivaldo. Rivaldo! Oh, it's hit the post! That's put paid to the danger.